Let's go into layout 2. Now layout 2, I don't need to do anything in the background with the white paper because it's gonna all be covered up. So we're just gonna kind of start with that. Let me get my directions ready. All right, this one is probably not gonna need a ton of measuring because everything kind of lines up with each other. So it starts off with putting the 1/2 inch by 12 inch sapphire dots paper to the top and the bottom of the page. So this is what I mean. Everything's gonna kind of line up really easy. So just put that at the bottom, line it up flush. So simple. And then grab your other piece here. Hope you guys can see. Sorry about my lighting. Just do not have the lighting that I used to have in my old scrapbook room, which has now been kind of taken apart because I've had to bring stuff down so it doesn't look all pretty anymore. All right, there we go. And then the next thing is to adhere the backside of the honey butter floral paper, which I believe is this one. So that's this one, and it's gonna go right above that strip of blue. Isn't that pretty? Both sides are so pretty. These will make the most awesome cards. I can't wait to play around with those scraps. Okay, that goes right above it. And then says adhere the 2.5 by 12 flamingo stripe paper as shown. That's gonna be up at the top. So she's not even putting measurements on some of this stuff because you're just gonna go keep lining it up. So I'm gonna flip this so I can see it easier. That's gonna go right under that strip of blue. I keep wanting to call it a zip strip, but it actually isn't. Okay, and then the adhere the 1/4 inch by 12 inch honey butter cardstock pieces. So they're gonna go here and here, and they're just long strips. And so glue is gonna work best for those. So instead of putting the glue on the strip, I'm gonna put it right along the edge of this floral paper that I love. You always get me with the bright colors and flowers. And right now, you know, when winter is approaching, I'll take all the flowers I can get. I have to say though, the weather's been pretty good so far, but that happened last December too. Last November, December, it just, the weather was not bad. Didn't get a lot of snow, and then we got socked a bit in January, February, March, but still, that last winter was actually not a bad winter, so I'm hoping for the same again. I feel like I used the light side on that. Nope, I used the right side. There we go. Okay, and adhere 3x4 photo to the 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 white daisy cardstock, and then to the raspberry cardstock. So first I'm gonna grab my photo placeholder here and put that on the white cardstock, and then to the raspberry. That's gonna make that pop out really nicely once we get these in there. All right, now adhere the 3x4 photos. So if you don't have your photos, get a photo placeholder because on this situation, it'll be helpful to you. You can just make your own. Oops. Needed to glue that a little bit more, I guess. So these are gonna go, the first one goes just right between the yellow strips. One there, and then one on the right-hand side. Just between those two strips. And then all the way, of course, touching the right-hand side of the paper, cardstock base. See, there's no room to do anything to that white cardstock behind. And then this is going to go here. And because we're going to be gluing some stuff over it, I'm going to put that flat, but with a lot of glue. And that's going to go right next to your last photo, kind of centered just outside, 1/8 of an inch outside of the 2 yellow strips, like that. And then we can do some decorating. So let's start upper left. You're going to need this blue chipboard piece and your yellow cardstock piece, tiny one. And I'm just going to put glue around this. Put the yellow on there, because what we want to do is fill in that front part. And then I'm just going to trim the excess yellow off. You can let it dry, of course. I'm going a little bit faster. And that goes up about 1/2 inch away from the left-hand side, right under the blue polka dot paper. And then above that is this pink. Let's get a good amount of glue on there because it's heavy. And that goes right at the top, kind of lined up against it. That's gonna take a while to dry for sure. I'm gonna make sure I'm still in camera here, okay. And then there'll be some, I'm gonna use my white dots. You use whatever embellishment you want to. I'm gonna actually use a big one over here to the left, a small one on the heart itself, and then a medium one about there. And then we've got our flowers. Might as well pop those up. So remember I told you I did some flowers with blue center, some flowers with the kind of stickles ones. So mine are going to be mixed up a little bit, but let's see. She's got them all pointed the same way. So the big petals down, kind of like that, kind of like that, and kind of like that. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I just wanted it to not all be so matchy-matchy. So it's a little bit different with some of them with some stickles in the middle and some of them not. If you don't like that look, just go over whatever you did with stickles. With the liquid pearls. And I'm just gonna pop these all up. So they're gonna be about 1 inch or so away from each other. And what I like to do is I usually will do the left one and then I'll do the right one, and then I kind of put the last two centered between. All right. So if I get this work done today, I'm rewarding myself by letting myself go to the plant store. Because I'm looking for a couple plants. I have a ponytail palm plant, which is awesome. And I think I want to get another one. And then what else did I see that I liked? Then there's this plant, and I forgot the name of it, but I know it when I see it. That's got kind of almost round leaves. And they go out, shoot out on big old stems. And I can't remember what it's called, but they're real, real bright green too. I'll know it when I see it, but I keep seeing that on plant videos. And so I think I have to have one. These are not something you're gonna necessarily commonly find in a Home Depot or whatever, so I have 2 plant stores that I'm gonna go to. The one is really not far, probably a mile down the street. They also sell Christmas trees there. We're gonna line this other one up just to kind of make sure I'm centering them a little bit. And then the other one's in the next town over. And that's where I found my did I find my ponytail palm? I think I found my ponytail palm at that one. So they will probably have another. Both cool places. The advantage of going to these plant stores, because sometimes they're a little more expensive, but they are experts on them instead of like a Home Depot where you're not getting experts on plants anywhere in the store. And so they also know what to look for as far as insects and all that stuff, so that you're not going to bring home a plant that is have got issues already. So you and me is what we're doing next. And I already have an issue with what they call fungus gnats, which you guys have probably seen if you have any plants in your home. They're very, very common, and they look like fruit flies, but they tend to hang around the plants, and because they eat the decayed roots and stuff that come up. This is going to go between the two photos that are kind of on the top of the plant, you know, as leaves die and fall into the plant and stuff like that. That's what they love. And they're kind of hard to get rid of. Now, this is from the blue chipboard set, and it should fit directly on here. So I'm going to put the glue right here on the plastic. So I bought these different things to try to get rid of them before they get overwhelming. I don't have that many right now, but I don't want it. But if you go to a regular plant store, you're unlikely to bring home any of those kind of things, because they know what they're doing and they know how to prevent that. How cute is that? Okay. Next, lower left, you're gonna get the big flower. And they kind of got this flower from the blue chipboard set going down first. So I'm going to glue that about an inch in under the first photo. And then I think that's, let's see, I think they have a little one too, yep. So there's a little one of those blue ones. That's from the blue chipboard set that you got. Remember, you had a wooden one and then a blue chipboard. And throw that down there. And now I'll stick this in between with lots of glue. I don't know why I have become obsessed with plants lately, but they do bring me a lot of joy, because I love seeing when they're doing well and they start to shoot out new growth. Oh, that makes me so happy. And I just want them all to grow huge. I have a tree too in the house, and it was having a few issues, but it seems better now. I think that I waited a little long to water it, and then the leaves started to turn brown. But it's looking better now, and it does have new growth. And I want it to grow all the way to the ceiling. All right, now these don't show up very well, but they do have us using these two things. But they sure don't show up very well, so hopefully in person they will. Lots of glue. And one is going to be on the left-hand side. I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put it, because my flower is over a little bit too much. So I think I'm going to put it down here. On the actual thing, it's more to the left of this, but it doesn't really matter. And then I'll put the other one up a little bit. So they'll kind of be opposite, because before on the extra layout, one is higher than the other. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put this one over here. It's hard not to get glue on both sides, my goodness. And I don't know if that's gonna come off with my glue eraser. Oh, it does. Nice. All right. Once it's dry, I might take a little cloth to it too. Okay. Yeah, see, that will bug me. So once it's dry, I will have to take one of my fiber, microfiber things to it and try to get it so it's nice and smooth. Okay, those two, and then the word unforgettable right here. You can pop this up or not. I think I'm just gonna tuck it right underneath to sort of to the right side of that, but you can move it over in the middle if you want to. They do have it off to the right a little bit. And I think that is it for that one. So let's move on to page 2. I'm gonna grab that. This one won't take long either. I'll have to go faster now because we know how to do it, right? So I know the first thing is the blue strips, and those are the blue polka dotted strips. One on the top and one on the bottom. Let's make sure this looks good. And I'm just lining it up against, hopefully in camera, lining it up against the edge of the white cardstock. I'm gonna do the same to the other side. I have glue all over my fingers. And that. And then the next piece will be, let's see what order she had. It doesn't probably matter. Looks like she'd put the honey butter cardstock on the right hand side next. Now actually, I guess is that supposed to go under? I guess that's supposed to go under this. So if you haven't put your little strip down, I guess this goes under. Sorry about that. So pull it up if you got a good adhesive like me. If not, you're gonna trim it, right? You just trim it down so that it fits. So this goes under. Might help if I read the directions as I would. I thought, oh, the second page will be easy. I don't need to read them. But I guess I did. Okay, and before I put those back down, let me see if there's anything else I need to put in there. The raspberry cardstock. Yep, so this piece too is also gonna go under there. Hope I didn't mess you up. Just trim it if you can't lift your little zip strip part. And then, yep. Okay, so that's the only thing that has to go under that. And then just push that back down. And then hopefully it didn't wreck your page. Okay. And next, adhere the back side of the honey butter floral paper. So that would be this one again. We're using this side. And that's gonna go to the left of the pink strip. Okay. Flush up against everything. And then, what does it say? Adhere the flamingo stripe paper at the top. See, this paper's cute too. This whole set is very nice. Even if you don't do this particular layout set with them, if you have not bought this, it'll be around for a while, until next September probably. But you might want to get it because it's cool. Right now we're gonna do the strips like we did before, and those will go under. Let me make sure that's the next part and I'm not messing up. Yes. So I'm gonna put the glue on the paper down here instead of the strip. It's too hard to put it on the strip. Do it the easy way. Right there up against that pink. Push, push, push. Hold it down. And do the next piece. Just like that. And that's the next strip. Goes up against the pink and the floral. And just hold it down so it dries for a minute while I read the next part. Okay. Now we're gonna do those photos like we did before, except not none in the middle. It's gonna be 3 just regular photo bands. Now, if you don't have your photos and you don't want to do a placeholder, just leave that space blank for your photos for later. I'll do a placeholder for now. And I'm taking all of these this weekend and filling them up with photos. So, I mean, seriously, I'm trying to take almost every photo I own so that I can really complete some stuff. And I'll be with my friends. We're gonna have a great time. We cook for each other and watch shows and talk. They both used to be consultants, and now they're just my customers, and we've become close. And we do this twice a year. It's so much fun. All right, let's do a little decorating. Now, I noticed that in the cutting instructions that she has journaling strips and says they're for a different layout. I think layout 4, but actually I think they're for this one. So if you came up, there was like 3, I don't know if I even have them up here still, 3 long strips. You can use them here, or of course, use your journaling strips if you have them, your self-adhesive ones. So, all right, let's start at the top, and we're gonna do the flowers. And these are the ones we're using. And I think I turned them this way on the other layout. Make sure they're turned the same way on your second layout so they match. And they are going to be kind of a little bit to the left. So let's put, well, before we stick those down, let's put our tag that we will have to cut. So remember, we put the yellow behind before. I'm gonna do that again. So put some glue on the tag. And then stick that yellow down, and then we'll just trim it. I'm gonna put it out there and hold it on there for a minute. We'll get the tag down first so that these will not interfere with that. I'm gonna push that down just a touch because I got it up a little too high. I think it needs a little bit more space there so that it doesn't, that it shows through all the slots. Then trim it. Just a little bit more there, and put some adhesive. It goes up here about 1/2 inch in from the red or from the pink strip, and then just above it is going to be this pink arrow. So tell me, did you do what I said and get all your arrows and flowers and stamped images and everything like that, and put them with your layout pile? Makes it so much easier if you do that. Okay, and then there's 3, oops, that doesn't want to stay down very well. That may need a while to dry. So it might fall off when I pick it up. I'm gonna do 3 because I did the big, medium, the large, medium, and small before. I'm gonna do the same thing. Let me see, let me put the big one here. The smallest on the tag itself. Now you could be using liquid pearls here instead. Stickles or your own embellishments that you want to get rid of. So I'm just going to kind of put it like that. Now I'm ready to put these flowers on. So let me space them nicely. And this time I'm going to start with the middle one so I can space the other two evenly outside of it. Whew. All right. See, aren't you glad we did all the stamping first? Imagine having to stop and do all your stamping for each page. What a pain. It's way better to put it first. Now put it evenly between the top and the bottom of that pink stripe paper. And here we go with the second. It went a little too much. So does anybody else like plants out there, or is it just me? I've always liked them, but I just haven't had very good luck at growing them, other than philodendrons, or they might have been pothos. Those two, I guess, look pretty similar, and an occasional cactus for a while, but even those I seem to kill. On the other hand, I didn't do a lot of research into how to keep them alive, which I'm doing now. So hopefully I'm going to do a little better. And then I've tried a lot of things, like I've got humidifier and all that stuff now, and grow lights. Okay, so now we've got small, what is that? All smiles. Very interesting font they've got there. So put some dots of glue. And then I've got a little moisture meter type of thing that I stick in, although I'm not sure if it works very well, because this morning I was washing it off with water. Now you would think that would make the moisture meter show wet, right? And no, it still said dry on it, so I'm not even sure if it's giving me accurate instructions when I need to water these things. Okay, I'm gonna match that arrow so it's right about 1/4 inch away from the pink. I'm putting it up a little bit higher because we're gonna fill it up with a big flower down here. And up here we only need room for a bracket. So this is the bracket we're gonna use. That's that white plastic. And I wonder how my arrow is doing up there. Huh? It does feel like it's possibly drying. So put your bracket on evenly. And then down below this, we've got the big blue flower. Oh, that reminds me, on the first page, I think on mine it doesn't matter. On these flowers, on the first page, if they have a spot in the middle that is showing, mine is not. And I'll show you what I mean here. So mine are kind of tucked under so you can't see it, but if the hole is showing, you can put a sparkle in there or some liquid pearl. But in this particular, on that page, I don't have it showing, so I didn't put anything. And then this one's going to be down here, because again, that big flower is going to go over them and kind of overlap them. I might even move that over just a touch. Maybe put it like about there. And I hope this is going to stay down, since those are thick. And if you're, again, putting this big thing over them, is this going to stay down flat? Don't know. So if you are concerned about that, just go ahead and move the flowers out slightly so that this does not overlap them. I'm going to just kind of push it down. Whoops, I'm gonna have to do it over a little bit more. push it down here and see. I already got glue everywhere. So I'm just gonna kind of hold it and see if that'll stay down while I'm holding it. Being the multitasker that I am, I'm gonna put some glue on this bracket. Isn't this what we are like as women? We can't just sit there and do one thing. And then this bracket goes down here. So holding this and decorating at the same time. So this does have a little room for a dot. So I'm gonna go ahead while I'm still holding this and get a small dot and put that in the middle. And this one does not have room for it, so I will skip that. Okay, so that right-hand side is done. I think that's good. And then over here, we're gonna do this rose and a this pennant and this pennant, blue and white stripe. So let's put those down. So right under your photo, about a 1/4 inch in, actually right under the yellow strip, put the yellow pennant. And then next to it, the blue and white one. And then I think we'll be good for this flower. So because this flower has a little more surface, I am gonna actually use regular glue on there. And then I'm just gonna go with my piercing tool and anything that kind of got in between the sections. I'll just kind of push out of there. And then I only put the glue down towards the bottom so I can overlap, but if you don't have to overlap the photo, that's up to you. And then to the lower left of that is that blue heart that came out of that, pennant that we used. This one here. I'm taking that blue heart and gluing that down here. So we don't want to waste anything, right? Use that. And then right on that is going to go a small white dot or liquid pearl, whatever you got. I'm going to put that right there. And anything else down there? Nothing except the journaling strips. So if you want, I'm gonna not put them on this one, but if you want to, then you can just go ahead and take your journaling strips, the ones that you pre-cut, or if you wanna use the ones that you have here, I would probably use the longer ones here, you know, that are more about that size. So you could cut a few of those if you want. But I like the way this looks. Would probably not necessarily be one I do a lot of journaling on. I could always add them later. So I'm gonna leave that like that. And then let's take a look at the 2 pages together. Just like that. The video doesn't do it justice. You guys would love this if you don't already have it. So let's move on to layout 3.